Hello everyone, how are you? In this video we will talk about another function in the Excel called VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. VLOOKUP, that means vertically, V for vertically and VLOOKUP, and H for horizontally. So the first thing we have VLOOKUP. The first of all, why I need the VLOOKUP? From its name VLOOKUP, that means look up. I looking for a value. I look up for some value. For example, I want to add here in this table, I want to type a number here, for example number 9, like this here, and here I can see the product or the price, for example. So if I type here, for example 7, enter, you can see the product Xbox in the 7 and the price 700. So imagine if you have a very huge data, a very huge table, it's very difficult to find the data. So using the VLOOKUP to do that. Now how can I using the VLOOKUP? For example here I want to add product name, for example 7, and I want to find the price, for example. Now I want to delete this. Here I have 7. If I type 7, I want to find the price. So here you should using this function VLOOKUP equal VLOOKUP, and you can see the first argument here, lookup value. That means which value that I want to find. I want to find the data or the value when I type or when the user type the product ID. So the lookup value is the product ID. Lookup value, that means this data or this value that if I write it, I want to see a price or I want to see a product. So the lookup data, this 7. And then come, I have table array. I want to find the data in which table? In this table, so I can just add the table array or the table. Again, comma, call index num. That means the number of the column, the index of the column. Here in this table, I add all the table, right? So I have the column 1 and the column 2 and column 3. So I want the price. The price in which column? 1 or 2 or 3? Of course, this is in the 3. So just write 3. In this table it is a 3 from left to right, the 1, 2, 3. Now come again. Here we have 0 or 1 or true or false. What I mean by 0 or 1? Here you can see true or 1, that means approximate match, and 0 or false, that means exact match. Here I want 0, that means exact match. So here exact match, I want just to add 0. That means I want the value. For example, I add 7, I want to see the 700. If I add, for example, 4, I want to see 300. But if I add here 11, I cannot see anything because this exact match, exact value, the value should be exactly here in the table. Not like 1. If I type 1 or approximate value, even if I type here 11, I will see the value here, for example, 450. Because just approximate value, and then enter. Now you can see 700. If I type here 3, for example, I can see 500. Now for a product, same thing. I should add another function equal VLOOKUP, and then lookup value. I want this value product ID, so I just type this value, and then table array. Same thing. I want to add all the value or the table. Column index. Now for price we write the 3, right? Because 1, 2, 3. But for product just 2, because product 1, 2. So just 2 index. I want to find the product, and then true or false. Also I want 0 exact value, and enter. So here I can find the value. Now here I have another example like this table. If you have like this table, and for example I want to add the ID and find the computer, for example, or the grade of the computer here. So here equal VLOOKUP again, and then lookup value, which one? The ID, that means this K6, and then table. I want to add all the table. After that, column index number, which one? Computer. Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4. The computer in the 4, and then 0 for exact value, and enter. But here what if I make it like this here. I want to use add the name, type the name, and find the computer. Here it is different. Just pay attention. VLOOKUP. In the first situation, or in the first try in this table, I want to find the ID, right? I want to type the ID, the lookup value, the first one, ID. And the ID is the first value in the table, the first column, first index in the table here. But now I need the lookup value, the name, not the ID. I want to type the name here. I mean K, this value, K9, this, the name. And then the table here. The look value or the lookup value should be the first column in the table. The lookup value should be the first column in the table. I mean here, for example, ID. The ID is the first column, right? But now I have the name. The name is the second column. So here, the table array, when we write the table array, when we select the table array, just select it from the name. Why? Because the name, because I want the name in the table, I want the lookup value, the first one from the left. Always should be the first one from the left. So if I want to add the math, for example, I should select the table until here. Now just like this, and then the column index number from what? From where? Now the table just from name, not from ID. So the first one, this 1, 2, 3. So now the computer is the 3, and in, and then 0. Now you can see the result. What if I want here the math, the lookup value, the math. So if the lookup value is math, it's a different also. VLOOKUP, and then the lookup value, the math, right? So K9, same thing. But here the table array should be from the math, because I want the lookup value, the first one from the left. So the math is a first one from the left. And then here column index number, computer just 1, 2, because the table from math until English. So just 2, and here just 0. But here I add Paula, so it is a name. So I want to add here the math, for example 77, and enter. You can see 93, 39, and so on. Now what if my table like this? The table, if I want to copy and paste the table in the reverse, I want to delete this table now, and I want to make the table in the reverse, or transpose this table. Just copy, and then I want to paste it here. For example, just go to the paste, and you can see here transpose. Now I add the column will be the row, and the row will be the column, right? Like this. Here the column, here in the header, now the header in the row. Now here, for example, I want to add to find the ID, to type the ID, the lookup value in the ID, and I want to find for the computer in this table, not this table. So here, if you type VLOOKUP, for example, and the lookup value is ID this in 6, for example, and 6, and then the table array, this table. After that, column index. See here, column index number. Which column index? Column, that means this column. So index of what? I want for computer. Computer not in the header, not in the column, but in the row. So here I cannot do that. I should using the edge lookup. That means for horizontally. If the table like this, should using the edge lookup, and the same thing. Now here you can see row index number. So the computer in which index? 1, 2, 3, 4. Here the computer. So just 4 and 0, same thing. Now what about the approximate value? Here, for example, I want, when I type the salary, the sal, I want to find the add, this number here. So here, for example, if I type 5,000, I can see 300, right? So how can I do that? Very easy, you know that. VLOOKUP, and then lookup value, the salary. After that, the table array from salary, because the lookup value should be the first one from the left. So from here, and then here the column index 2, because 1, 2, the add, I want to add. After that here, approximate or exact. If I say exact, 0. and enter. If I type 5,000, I can see 300, right? But what if I type here 1,000? So I cannot find the data. Why? Because I said I add 0. That means I want exact match. I mean by exact match, just looking about the value or looking for the value should be here in the table. If the value not exactly here in the table, not exact the value here in the table, I cannot. I will see the error. But here if I make it approximate 1, that means approximate match, I can see 50. Why? 1,000 is not 1,000 here, right? But 50 because it is a less value, just approximate value. For example, if I add 7,000, also not exist here, but will approximate value just here 300, just between 500 and 5,000 and 10,000. So just approximate value 300. I hope you understand that. Thank you very much.